Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And today, we're going to talk about the number one business opportunity for 2023 and beyond, passive income daily. And it's one I've talked about before. It's the debt box node licenses, ladies and gentlemen. And they're over in Ghana. That's right, Africa. And there's oil, there's agriculture, there's a whole lot of precious metals in the ground. And that XPLR satellite system can find it. They're building an ecosystem. Let's hear from the scientists. Let's hear from the co-founder. Let's get an update because you should be considering passive income all the time. And welcome. Stop Struggling Now gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back, members, subscribers, and new watchers of the channel. Thank you so much for your support. And please share the videos because you never know who you're going to be able to help. Now, let me set this up for you, ladies and gentlemen. This is a cryptocurrency play, but it's backed by commodities. There's an ecosystem. The ecosystem consists of what I talked about earlier. They have node licenses for the products. So the NFT is backed by commodities. All right? Real businesses where they have royalties and partnership agreements with these companies in oil, natural gas, gold, agriculture that you're going to hear from the co-founders. They're walking down the street here shortly in Ghana. And there's also silver coming. There's going to be platinum coming, rhodium. That's all in the ground. And there's a satellite system that looks for it. XPLR is that token. They're also coming out with the debt box node chain as well. Wise, if I say so myself. So we're going to get into it. Actually, this is going to be part one, because I'm going to make a part two because I don't want the video to be like 30 minutes, because I'm going to take little segments from when they were recording this past week over in Ghana. And there's going to be a big meeting as of today. So today is November 18th. There's a meeting. So I don't know if we'll be able to stream it because over in Ghana, people had to pay to get in. But if it is, then that means there's going to be a live stream coming up also that you can review that. But once again, this is a business play, ladies and gentlemen. You have a couple of choices. You can either buy the license for a particular node and you pay a monthly fee, not that much, $15 or $25 a month. Or you can also turn this into, you can buy a license and create additional business opportunity, because that means you have to pay a little more to be a member, $115 minimum, but $115, $145, or $180. Then you will have a link like I have down below in the description where you can refer other people and receive additional commissions. So those are your two options. And we have a third because this is SSN Nation. Somebody might not have the amount of money needed for one of the licenses, but you still want to get in. Well, we have our own XPLR business opportunity for that particular one. It's $2,250 is what that license cost. But if you do the group opportunity, you'll see a link down below, and it's called the 2250 XPLR group business opportunity. You can put in a minimum of $250 and only increments of $250. And based on the percentage you receive, that's the amount of rewards that you will be entitled to receive, the percentage wise. So again, I'm not going to get into the business totally. There'll be links down below for the XPLR. You can search the channel for discussions on the DebtBox node that I have myself. But let's get into the first part. Let's go see what they're talking about as they're walking down the street.
So we are here in Tamale, and we are out in the farmland, and this is the land that Debt supports with our Grow token.
Correct.
So how does Debt directly support these different farmers? How does that tie together?
So right now, this is equivalent to about 25,000 acres of property. They have capped out. They are the only organically certified farms in all of Ghana. So the export for soy and sunflower seeds and some of the other crops, they can start expanding through, but they don't have the property to do so. So Grow will come in and help with infrastructure. Grow will come in and purchase another 10,000 acres of property here and bring in more heavy equipment and build at least 3 more processing facilities for that 10,000 acres. That will allow them to basically put on more workers and increase the revenues coming through. Those more revenues, we get more royalties for it. Those royalties then go to the co-op, and you basically get paid from the co-op.
One of the things that I've been the most fascinated about is, we talk about debt. Debt stands for decentralized, eco-friendly blockchain technology. And I don't think that we understand the E part of how much they're doing environmentally here in Africa. I mean, you guys are rooted here.
Very much.
And truly making a difference in these communities. I don't think that people realize that by buying a Grow license or buying many of our Explorer licenses or any of the projects, they really are supporting Africa and the communities and the people through employment, thousands of jobs.
Tens of thousands.
Tens of thousands.
Yes, our goal is for the year of 2023 is that we'll actually support 10,000 jobs alone here in Ghana. That's going to be not only for the Grow, that's about 3,500 jobs, but for silver and gold, it's about another 3,000 jobs, and the rest of it will basically be going into the aluminum and the oil and gas sector here. But 10,000 jobs total will be goal. I believe we'll exceed that probably by June or July at the current pace. But there's always opportunities to expand here in Africa. It's one of the richest countries still in the world, and there's so much opportunity here, not only to expand DebtBox, but also expand the way people live and giving back.
It's beautiful. Show you around here real quickly. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate it. Give you just a tour of where we are at.
Give us a quick 10 seconds of what we're looking at.
Beautiful.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, just like SSN Nation, stop struggling now. We're trying to help people. Well, isn't it awesome what they're doing? This is astoundingly awesome because they're actually trying to get jobs down there. They are actually not trying to just take control of the country or control of the city or the county or the province. They are sitting there saying, we want to work with people and we're going to bring in all these jobs, because not only are we going to have agriculture, not only are we going to be digging up this gold and platinum and natural gas, oil, all of that. Can you believe up to 10,000 jobs potentially could be in this area? And all of that under royalties and partnerships. And also I want to get into a little bit of the tokenization, because you actually earn rewards on a daily basis, but they burn the tokens. So how do they burn the tokens? When they make these partnerships and royalty agreements, any profits that is shared with license holders, they turn around and buy on the open market the token. Then they burn all of what they just bought from the profits, reducing the supply. Reducing the supply usually means that increases the price, because now anybody that wants to buy it, it's going to probably cost a little bit more. So that's their tokenization, how they're doing this. All right. So now let's get into some other things. Let's go see what the scientist has to say. This is going to be part 1. Remember that. And so I'm going to go with the scientist, because this is like 8 minutes long. And then I'll probably end it after we do the scientist review, because I know you're going to be like, well, hold on, I want to see the second part. Well, you're just going to have to come back for the next video, which will be tomorrow. All right. So here we go with the scientist, ladies and gentlemen. So you guys understand how awesome and how cool this actually is. And it's a real business. Crypto needs this. You need this. something you can count on in light of the FTX, Genesis, and all the rest of them that's going to have a problem with their liquidity. Voyager, BlockFi, they're all looking for billions of dollars. Can you imagine? Billions. How are you have $1 billion when you're an exchange? But that's another story. That's why we don't want to be on an exchange. We want to have crypto backed by real world businesses that are operating right now. All right, here we go. Let's go see what the scientist has to say. This is awesome.
Foundation code, and he showed me what he was able to do, and I said, well, you know, this is amazing. If you can do this for hydrocarbons, why can't you do this for minerals? Because I'm more of the mineral side. And he said, we can, but we've just never had a trustworthy enough partner to calibrate and work on the code to have it work for the minerals. So a little bit of explanation on the basics. So everything on the periodic table has a specific vibration to it, right? Which has a certain frequency, right? Don't quote me on this, but it's like gold has 7.482 hertz, right? That's what it resonates at. That's what it vibrates at, right? All atoms vibrate. You vibrate, I vibrate. We all have our own signatures. All minerals, anything on the periodic table also has its own signature. So the question is, and part of what we're using here is proprietary software to us, and some of the satellite technology is not proprietary. It's available to anybody that wants to basically lease satellite time. But again, you know, highly specialized stuff. You can't just be anybody and be able to, you know, get access to live streams from Maxar, Airbus, the major satellite providers. Although the industry is opening up greater and greater, there are more independent satellite companies that are coming online now. There's a lot in Silicon Valley, and in fact, one of our preferred partners is in Australia, and they 3D print their microsatellites. We call them box satellites now. They're not these big Hubble, you know, telescopes that they launched in the 70s and 80s. These are about as big as a microwave, and they have solar panels, and they send them up. And there's literally, as I'm sure you're well aware, Elon Musk and Starlink, you know, he's launching literally tens of thousands of satellites that traverse the Earth that will provide Wi-Fi internet connectivity to everyone, everywhere. So the technology has really advanced. So what we're using satellite time from historical Landsat existing satellites, and we're currently in the process of finalizing our own deal with an aerospace company to have our own proprietary dedicated satellites to this work. So somebody asked me earlier, you know, how long does it take you to do this? And it just depends. It varies from we need the satellite passover, right, or the scan to capture using specific equipment on the satellite, like a spectrometer, the metadata that's coming from the vibration or the frequency that's in the ground. And then we basically take that data and we interpret it through our own proprietary algorithms that have been built over time and calibrated using real world examples. So they would find a target somewhere in the world, they would say, there's gold here, there's silver here. I would go fly or travel to wherever that area was. I would find it by GPS coordinates, and I would dig it up. And I would say, okay, we were off by 6 meters to longitude, we were off 4 meters to latitude, you know, and we would hone, and we would you know, curtail, and we would basically make it more and more precise. And so we've got it to the point now where it's very precise. Sometimes there's hiccups, sometimes there's always things, but for the most part, we can get on top of any target, 2D, two-dimensional that we want, pretty much anywhere in the world now. And it works for hydrocarbons, and it works for minerals. It really will work for anything on the periodic table. What we're focused on are the raw commodities, natural resources. Some of the other kind of branch benefits and other technology that we're entering into are like soil moisture content from the satellite for agricultural land. So we know when we're assessing new blocks of land whether or not it's, you know, it's rich soil farmland because of the moisture content. We can tell from pulling it from the spectrometer that are on the satellites. Make sense so far? Just a little disclaimer, all digital currencies are encrypted. So calling it cryptocurrency is not hyper-technically accurate, right? There are different flavors of ice cream when it comes to digital currencies, right? There are meme coins that are based on nothing. There are different tokenomics that govern different types of projects. We're unique in the sense that we use the blockchain to link physical commodity projects to a convertible virtual reward that can then be transferred into a convertible virtual currency. You with me? Because technically, when you mine your rewards, they go into your piggy bank, and then when they go into your piggy bank on Devbox, you have to move them over into your wallet. That process turns it from a reward to a convertible currency. These are very minute things, but they're very important for regulatory reasons. So we don't sell investments, right? We sell technology. We sell software. We're a software sales company. That's what we do. Okay. Nobody controls how successful this will be. We have great influence over it, but it's decentralized to the point that once we put it in the system, it's out there in the ether and we can't pull it back. So again, I know you guys kind of understand all this, but I just want to restate it for anybody that doesn't. Really, the Debt Council sat down and we really tried to come up with taking all the great attributes that Satoshi came up with and that Ether created and dispense with the bad parts that they couldn't have foreseen, like the energy draw from an ASIC chip miner, and move that into the cloud, right? Virtual private servers, right? Little badge of honor that we like to call out is that, you know, just recently Binance just announced that they're starting cloud mining, right? We were 13 months ahead of them. We were 13 months. That's our jam. So we were like very proud of that. I think there'll be a story coming out at some point that calls that out, because again, this was a very hot contention within the Debt Council initially because we didn't know how it would go, right? And again, nobody has a crystal ball, but we tried to set ourselves up for the best chance for success. So again, the virtual and the synthetic hash rate that goes with our model is unique to us. And now there's other people that are following us, right? And again, it's like following us, or they're coming up with their own model. Like, I can only speak to what we're doing. I can't speak to what other people are doing. But when you see Binance make an announcement like, oh, we're getting into the virtual, you know, cloud mining business, digital mining business, it's like, hey, okay, we're going in the right direction, guys. We, you know, that's a really good road sign. So it's fantastic. And then again, really what I'm about to show you is one of our core technologies. It's not our only core technology. We have several, but everything we do is rooted in technology. So if there's a technology out there that we can apply to any of these commodity generation businesses, trust me, we're on it. We'll find it, we'll apply it, we'll figure out how to make it work for us, to make us more efficient, better, cheaper, you know, because that's our edge. I'm also an environmentalist. You know, I come from a family of earth movers, right? My grandfather founded one of the largest earth moving construction companies in Canada at one point in time back in the 70s. And you know, I grew up on heavy machinery, so I move, you know, cubic meters of earth. My father is a civil engineer, so I know how to move earth, right? That's what I do. Or that's what I was taught to do by my family business every summer. While all my friends were in Southern California surfing the waves and skateboarding in Venice Beach, I was up in Canada in Saskatoon building roads and dams and freeway approaches, and I hated it at the time. Now I thank my father for it because I'm a little older, a little wiser, and now I realize it was prepping me for this, right? So we have a lot of exciting things. I don't want to go too fast, so if at any point you don't understand something or you want me to stop, just tell me to stop, and I will. Please feel free to ask any questions. I'll try to be as thorough as possible and give you the idea. So I'll start showing you the stuff now, but I can tell you a quick story. So roughly, 4+ years ago, came back to Ghana. We had gotten to the point where we had perfected this technology. to the point where we were ready to show it, for prime time. And I sat down with I was lucky enough to get a meeting directly with the CEO of the Minerals Commission here. And these are the guys that control the permits to mine in this country, right? You have to go through them. So this is the CEO. This is the top guy at the top agency that does this. So if you want to do any business, you got to go through him. So I came here and I sat down and I told him what I could do. And he said, I don't believe you. He said, do you know how many people have come in here and told me that they have this magic box that can show us where the gold is, and this, that, and the other, and the Chinese and the Russians and blah, blah, blah. Not really. And I said, no, okay, great. I said, I'm a doer, right? I'm not a talker. I don't like to talk, although I can. But I want to show you, because I'm not here to give you a physics lesson or a science lesson. It wouldn't be appropriate. We'd take way too long for me to try to do that. So let me just show you how it works. And if I show you how it works, then fair enough. And if I do it at my cost, then you have no reason to say no, right? So if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. I'm not crazy enough to come into a foreign country in Africa and lie to you, right? Because I'd like to go home to my family. And again, if I'm here and I'm lying to you, then I'm going to disappear, and that wouldn't be good. My wife would be very upset. Or at least I think she would be. Anyway, have to check the size of that life insurance policy. Yeah, exactly. She asked me about that on my last trip. When are we going to get this thing up? I'm like, yeah. You and your next husband will be very comfortable. So anyway, all jokes aside. So he said, okay. And I said, listen, just present me with 5 properties. Obviously, I won't know where they are. I wouldn't be able to do anything prior. Just show me. So they went over to the other side of the room. They picked 5 properties. They came back. And honestly, if I'm being honest, I picked the smallest one because I knew it was going to happen. I knew we were going to scan it. I knew I was going to be able to show them where all the minerals were. And then they were going to go, okay, great, now go dig it all up, right? We're not Newmont, right? We don't have an open checkbook. We can't operate on that level yet, right? We're striving to get there. But I knew that this was going to be a challenge. So honestly, the only reason why I picked that property was because it was the smallest by square footage, right? It was about 11.68 square kilometers, which is about 4.2 square miles, right? It's a very large area. It contains an entire village, probably population somewhere 25,000 people, right? So this is not small areas of land. These are vast stretches of land, and this was the smallest. Some of them were in the 150 to 160 square kilometers. So by comparison, 12 square kilometers is tiny compared to some of these other ones that they said. So we picked that one. They said, why did you pick this one? I said, I basically made it up, right? I said, well, it's proximity to a craw, and it looks like it's flat, and I can get in there, and I didn't want to say it because I don't have the money to develop a 160 square kilometer property because I knew it was going to happen. So we said, okay, and it turns out Newmont has the mine like within a stone's throw of that area, so it was just dumb luck. So I'm going to show you that. We scanned that in 48 hours, and this is what we found.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Is that awesome or what? Hardly can contain himself. You hear Travis Flaherty in the background and other people asking questions. They can hardly contain themselves when they realize, oh my God, these guys have proprietary technology way ahead of the rest of the field. Only 2 people in the rest of the world is doing this, and really only 1. Can you believe this? The world is an oyster. The sooner you can get into it, the sooner they can get it into that location, the better, the faster, and that's good for whoever are the license and node holders. Now, I'll give you my opinion. The reason why we're doing the XPLR, it's simple. Because they're sending up a satellite in the first quarter of 2023, most likely, and their satellite's going to include their XPLR scanner system. Other exploration companies will therefore be calling them up saying, how much will you charge me for 2 hours, 3 hours scanning over a particular section of the world? And they get to charge money. We get to share in the profits on that. Also, there's an ecosystem where, hey, you want to find out about this, then we're probably going to have to share and receive some royalties after we tell you where this oil, gold, silver, platinum, palladium, whatever else they can find underground, water. We're going to have a partnership. So XPLR program oversees an ecosystem that is awesome. In the background, we, as a license holder, since we're earning rewards, we will be able to earn income from those rewards. That's actually daily. It mines 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Can you imagine buying one license and then being able to parlay that license into another license because of the rewards? Not that you have to put additional money into. So you're compounding a different way. And so you can get 1 or 2 license or 3 license. And then the next thing you know, you're earning enough rewards where you can buy the next license that comes out. Not only that, it's going to be music. It's going to be a bunch of other things that hasn't even come out yet. This opens up the door for a whole nother world. But just keep in mind, there's plenty of options and you can see what we're talking about. But stay tuned for the next part 2. But thank you so much for being here. Share the videos with your friends. Please use the links down below in the description if you decide that you want to get into this program. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here. And that's why right now in a recession, this is the best time to get a project or asset where you're able to get a return on your money. And this is an opportunity. It's the #1 business opportunity for 2023. We have lucky enough to find 2 of them, but this is one of them. And I'm going to be talking about another one. So you guys are going to have to stay tuned to the channel because it's coming hard and it's coming fast. Because we have more than just one of these, and it's a different company, but along the same lines, backed by real businesses making real money, which they can share the profits with those people that put money into the license, the nodes, or the memberships. So with all that said, keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.